Evergreen Heart. By Oprian. Chapter 23. What songs do monsters like to sing? I am tellin' ya Chui, I ain't seen nothin' like it in all my life. It were as if the ground was alive. He just gestured at it and it moved. If I hadn't seen it with my own two eyes I woulda thunk someone was telling me a load of hooey, said Applejack, who was currently sitting in Twilight's library nursing a cup of tea. Advanced telekinesis with such precise control, but that makes no sense. All he has ever demonstrated thus far is chlorokinesis. When did he suddenly get the ability to do this? Oughta know what all them fancy words mean Chui, and I didn't bother to ask. All I know is he saved me and Big Mac a week's worth of back-breakin' work. In fact, the farm is so far ahead of schedule I don't know what to do with the extra free time I got. I simply must study this new development. Where is he now? Far as I know he was workin' with Trixie on her new wagon. Since today's Friday, we gave him his pay for the week. Plus a lil extra, Granny insisted. At first he wanted to reject the bits, sayin' our deal was for the wood only. But Granny wouldn't hear it, saying hard work should be rewarded accordingly. He eventually relented and took the bits. And where exactly are they working on her new wagon? Oh, he asked if they could use the spare barn as a workshop. So how do we go about this? Trixie has no idea. She bought her last wagon from a second hoof dealer. What possessed you to try and build one yourself anyway? And without consulting with Trixie. I figured it might be easier and cheaper than trying to save up the bits for a pre-made one. Besides, this way you can have it made exactly as you like. Well, next time don't go making decisions for Trixie behind her back. Still, thank you. Trixie appreciates the thought. So how do we start? I reckon y'all wanna start with the platform and suspension for the axles. A voice drawled behind us. I turned to see a familiar red stallion. Oh hey Big Mac, you know a lot about building wagons. EI up. I guess you go through quite a few on the farm hey. EI up. You mind giving us a hoof with the basics? Nope. I guess making optimal use of the available space is key. We can't make it too big or she won't be able to pull it. EI up. With Big Mac's help we were soon able to puzzle out a design based on Trixie's wishes and his knowledge. We settled on a classic bow top design. 16 feet long by 6 feet wide at the widest point, and 5.5 feet tall, not counting the wheels. Its lightweight design even when fully furnished and loaded should prove no problem for Trixie to pull, yet still allow her maximum living and storage space, as well as comfort. It should also prove easy and inexpensive to repair. Plus it would take a lot less wood to build than any other designs. We also added 2 additional external storage boxes to the design to give Trixie more room for her belongings. I felt pretty good about the end result. More importantly, Trixie felt good about the design. As she said, her previous wagon was a cheap model she bought secondhand and spruced up. This wagon would be all her own make. With the blueprints finished we got to building the platform that would form the floor. While me and Trixie busied ourselves with measuring and cutting the beams and planks to the right length, Max set out to round us up some other tools and materials. Trixie turned out to be a deft hand with a hammer and saw. I'm not sure why that surprised me, since she modified her old wagon to have a built-in collapsible stage and everything. Maybe I'm too used to thinking of her as just a magician. Conveniently forgetting that she's traveled all over Equestria on her own, having to fend for herself in the wilds in between cities and towns. She's far more capable than the episodes would suggest. I suppose I should really stop making assumptions about ponies based on what little information I've glimpsed through watching the show. It's not exactly fair to them, but honestly it's a hard habit to shake. In any case, we made good progress on the platform, as well as the first 2 arches for the upper structure. We had to stop there though since A, we ran out of wood, and B, we needed a blacksmith to make the axles for us. If we didn't finish the undercarriage first and put this baby on its wheels it would become too heavy to lift later, even with unicorn magic to assist. With our work done for the day, we put the tools away and cleaned up inside the barn. Thanks for the help, Big Mac, you saved us a lot of trouble. Up. You good to help us out next time? Yup. Great, that should make things go a lot smoother than with just me and Trixie fumbling about on our own. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not completely inept when it comes to do-it-yourself projects, unlike some people I know. My old man taught me a thing or two about carpentry and electricity. But I'm no expert either. And I have zero experience building a wagon, so having Big Macintosh helping us out was perfect. So what do we do now? Trixie asked. I looked at the late afternoon sun as it touched the tips of the distant mountains. Well, the day is almost over, how about we go and have a drink? There's a place in town I've been meaning to check out now that I have a few bits to spend. Sure, why not? Trixie would enjoy a drink. You wanna come too, Big Mac? Nope. Need to finish the last of the day's chores, hey. Up. I getcha, we'll see you later then. Don't work too hard now. Up. He said as he set off to do whatever he still needed to do. So where are we headed? Trixie asked as we trod along the dirt road leading to town. I assumed my pony form, since my humanoid one would draw more attention than I wanted, since my goal was to relax, plus that form is way too bulky to comfortably fit into most buildings in Ponyville. City Hall is about the only building I can enter without having to hunch over in that form. I found a nice-looking pub called the Cheeky Sheep. It has been some time since Trixie had a chance to relax and enjoy a drink. This shall be a good evening. I hope so. As we entered the town, we ran into Rarity and Fluttershy coming out of the spa. Hello, ladies. I said with a wave. Hello, darling, where are the two of you headed? Rarity greeted with a smile. Fluttershy greeted Trixie warmly enough. Me, not so much. While she no longer regarded me with open hostility, or as hostile as a pony like her gets anyway, she still flinched away from me like a startled puppy anytime I made any sort of sudden movements in her general direction. Still, I kept my promise and tried to give her space. Actually, we were heading down to the Cheeky Sheep to relax and share a drink. Would you two lovely ladies like to join us? A strange look passed over Trixie's face for the briefest of moments. It came and went so fast I could have imagined it. For a moment she looked. I don't really know, disappointed? Jealous? Mistrustful? Or perhaps a mixture of all of the above. In any case, Fluttershy and Rarity looked uncertain. Darling, you don't honestly expect a lady like myself to spend an evening hanging out in a rough and tumble bar, do you? Rarity said, perhaps a bit too snootily. Though something in her tone suggested she was putting on an act. Oh come now, Rarity, from what I saw of the place it's hardly a ratty dive. Come on, it will be fun. She still seemed to hesitate. First round is on me. She let out a snort of defeat. Oh very well, I suppose my reputation can survive my slumming it for an evening. You will join us too, won't you, Fluttershy? You wouldn't leave me to rough it on my own with just these two, would you? Rarity said, giving Fluttershy her best pouty face. Okay. She said in a near whisper. As we resumed our way, Trixie leaned over to me and whispered, that girl needs to get out more. You're not wrong, but it's hard for her. She doesn't deal well with large crowds. I whispered back. What are you two lovebirds whispering about? Rarity said suddenly, making Trixie fly into a near panic. What? Me and him? Don't be absurd. Trixie shouted vehemently. A red tinge shining through the azure blue of her facial fur. It wasn't anything like that, Rarity. I said, caught slightly off guard by her remark. Trixie and I are just friends. Rarity let out a ladylike titter. Oh my, I do believe I struck a nerve. Shut up. Trixie muttered. The sun had just dipped below the horizon as we entered the Cheeky Sheep. The place was surprisingly full already, however we still managed to find an empty table over by the window. "All right ladies, name your poison." "Poison," all three of them said with perplexed expressions. Plus a panicked squeak from Fluttershy. I face hoofed. "It's an expression. It means name what drink you would like." "How frightening your world must be for such an expression to be so common," Rarity said. I shrugged noncommittally. "In any case, I would like a brandy." "Brandy for the lady. And what about you girls?" "Trixie will have an appletini." A plain old cider would be nice," Fluttershy near whispered. "All right ladies, sit tight and I will return shortly." The bartender of the Cheeky Sheep was a rotund, tan unicorn with friendly grey-colored eyes, a massive, shaggy red mane and a voluminous mustache styled into a curl that dominated his face. His cutie mark looked like a freshly tapped keg with a spray of liquid coming from the spigot. "What can I get you mate?" he rumbled in a warm bassoon voice. "I would like a brandy, an appletini, a plain cider and a glass of the weakest alcoholic drink you have. Also, do you have any snacks or meals? Got a fresh batch of sweet potato fries in the oven if you like some." "That would be good." I figured those would be okay with the girls. I couldn't eat them, but they weren't for me anyway. It's simply that one shouldn't drink on an empty stomach. And I doubt any of them have had any food since lunchtime. I knew for a fact Trixie hadn't. And I doubt the spa has snacks. Soon enough a tray was pushed my way, containing a medium basket of fries, the drinks for the girls, and what appeared to be a pint of beer. 7 bits. The bartender said. I hoofed over the bits then scooped up the tray, snaking my way through the growing crowd, back to our table. "Here you are girls. Drinks, plus something to nibble on. Feel free to dig in." I took my seat and lifted the pint, pretending to smell the contents, even though I have no nose. Still, whatever sensory system this body possesses allowed me to sample the scent of my drink. It smelled enticing, yet I eyed the glass with some apprehension. "Something wrong?" Trixie asked. "Last time I drank alcohol I got blind drunk after having just a small cup of cider, to the point where I became a useless giggling wreck for the rest of the evening. Should that happen again, I apologize for anything stupid I might do. I asked for the weakest drink available but I have no idea how my body will take it. Well, here goes." Rather than stick my fingers, or in this case my hoof into the glass, as was my usual method of consuming liquids, I lifted my glass and mimicked taking a sip. I had finally found a way to mimic a pony's ability to pick things up with a hoof. By secreting sticky sap from the frog of my hoof I could pick up objects that weren't too heavy. Instead of swallowing the liquid I was absorbing it directly through the skin of my face and lips. I could feel a familiar tingle travel through what passed as my veins. The taste wasn't half bad either. It wasn't the same as it would have been if I were still human, but it was close enough to enjoy. And I didn't immediately descend into a drunken stupor. Chalk up another win. We made small talk as we enjoyed our drinks and the food. Well, they enjoyed the food, I just enjoyed their company. Man, my kingdom for a parasprite to nibble on right now. Suddenly a trio of faces popped up outside the window, namely Applejack, Rainbow Dash, and Twilight. Startling us half to death. Dash and AJ seemed surprised to see us, Twilight on the other hoof looked like a mare on a mission. Staring me down with an intensity that was worrying. We gave the three of them a wave before they made a beeline for the door. "Hey girls," I greeted them when they finally reached our table, "nice of you to join us. Have a seat and we'll get you something to drink." You must answer my questions," Twilight said with a hint of crazy in her voice. What's this about?" May have blabbed to her about your fancy Earth-moving powers," AJ said nervously. "I see. Yes, now tell me how you got them. You didn't have those last time you were here. And why did you not mention them to me before?" Twilight said while fishing a notebook out of nowhere. "How do ponies keep doing that?" Okay Twilight, you need to calm down. I have too many questions to be calm. Yeah, that's why she roped me and AJ into helping her look for you when she couldn't find you on the farm. Dash grumbled. And I was enjoying a perfectly good nap too. Alright, that's it, you girls are joining the rest of us for an evening of relaxation and fun. Ah, but AJ began to protest. Have nothing else to do. The farm is ahead of schedule and Big Mac is taking care of the last of the evening chores. Park that apple-bucking butt of yours and order a drink. Well, when you put it that way, she mumbled as she sat down. I was just gonna chill at home, but yet this could be fun. Hey, do they have cider in this place? Dash said as she grabbed an extra chair and squeezed in between Rarity and me. Yes, they do. It's good. Fluttershy answered Dash. The fur of her face looked mildly discolored from the alcohol-induced blush. I'm guessing she's a bit of a lightweight. That sounds lovely right now. AJ said. I'll have a cider too. We all turned to look at Twilight, who was the only one still standing. She looked slightly defeated. But my questions? I was given those particular powers by an entity that talks like a little green alien from the planet Dagobah. And that's all I will say about it for the moment. Now come sit with your friends and unwind. Chui, you look more high-strung than a cat in a room full of rocking chairs. She sat down with a grumble before letting out a deep sigh. Fine, I'll have some red wine. Canterlet cellar preferably if they have any. I made my way back over to the bar to order them their drinks. The bartender cast a glance behind me at the table before pouring them. Ya starting a herd or something, mate? You got a whole table full of pretty lasses. My eyes widened slightly at the implication. No man, nothing like that. We just happen to be friends. Well, most of them anyway. Some just tolerate my presence for the sake of the others. He chuckled and hoofed me my order. Didn't mean to imply anything untoward. 2 cider and 1 glass of my best Canterlet 970. Would you like me to start you a tab? That would be nice actually. After a quick bit of paperwork my tab was set up. You lot just enjoy yourselves now. Thanks. I said and started to move off, but then turned back around. I never did get your name. I'm Bilge Hoop. Nice to make your acquaintance. Likewise lad, now you hurry on back. Never keep the lasses waiting. I made my way back to the table with some effort. The place was getting very crowded now, and I had to stick the tray to my back with some sticky sap to keep it from spilling over. Which makes the way ponies seem to effortlessly carry things around on their back all the more impressive. I had to cheat in order to achieve the same result. 2 extra large ciders for the athlete and the workhorse, and you were in luck. Twilight. 1 glass of Canterlet cellar 970, very good, or so I'm told. That brought a smile back to her face. She took the glass in her magic aura and took a studious sniff before taking a dainty sip and letting out an appreciative hum. I never took you for a wine drinker, darling, said Rarity. I don't usually drink wine. But on special occasions I indulge a little, she said, taking another sip. This is nice, Fluttershy said softly. It feels nice to spend the evening with my friends like this, but aren't we missing some pony? Hi every pony, came the voice of Pinkie Pie, who emerged from under the table a moment later, startling all of us. Pinkie, what were you doing down there? Why are you here? Twilight asked with confusion. Why wouldn't I be here? It's Friday evening after all, she said with her usual brand of cheerfulness as she put a glass of chocolate milk on the table. What does that have to do with it? By way of answer, Pinkie pointed at the stage in the back. A pink Pegasus pony with a mint-colored mane and a cutie mark that resembled a music sheet climbed onto the stage a moment later. She grabbed the microphone and tapped it with a hoof. Is this thing on? Her voice came through the speakers set up on either side of the stage. Sweet. Every pony turned their head and gave her their full attention. Alrighty every pony, I'm a cappella, and tonight it's once again open mic night at the Cheeky Sheep, and you lot know what that means. That we should have brought earmuffs. A pony jokingly yelled from the back of the crowd, eliciting a chuckle from the rest of the bar patrons, myself included. Let's hope not. A cappella said with a snort of amusement. Now then, let me explain how it works for any newcomers. If you want to sing for us, just let me know, and when your turn comes, you get on the stage and perform whatever song you feel like sharing. We also have a memory crystal up here that's hooked into the sound system. If you know the music that goes with the song you want to sing, just think of it and touch the crystal. It will fill with the memory of the music, which we can then play. Oh, and no dirty ditties, please. Every pony got that? Great. So which one of you lads and lasses will be first tonight? A Pegasus mare came forward first. I believe her name was Lavender Skies, but I could be wrong. From the confident look she was sporting, I guess this wasn't her first time up on the stage. She sang a jaunty little tune. A perfect opener to the evening if I was any judge. Well, this evening turned out more fun than I had anticipated. Twilight said, nursing her drink. Indeed, I must admit I had my doubts about visiting a pub. A pony hears stories, you know. But I must say this establishment has proven delightful so far. Rarity said whilst sipping her brandy. The singing sure is nice. Fluttershy said whilst peeking out from behind her mane. Why don't you go up there and sing us a song, Fluttershy? I said, trying to make conversation with her. Oh, no, I couldn't do that. I have stage fright. Every pony gets stage fright, darling, it's only natural. Not the great and powerful Trixie, she boasted. Maybe not when you perform your act. Dash said. But singing is a whole different experience. Trixie is above such a simple thing as stage fright. Oh yeah? Prove it. Dash challenged. The two blue ponies stared each other down for a moment. All right then. Trixie shall dazzle you all with a song. She got up and made her way over to a cappella. Do you have to turn everything into a challenge, Rainbow? I asked. What? I just wanted to see if she could actually sing. She said with a smirk. You are a bad little pony. I said with a grin before giving her a hoof bump. All right, that was a great song. A cappella said from the stage. Next up to perform is the great and powerful Trixie. Trixie shouted, appearing from a puff of smoke. Nice entrance. A cappella said with stunned surprise. Thank you. Trixie said with a smile. All right then, Trixie, take it away. Trixie took the mic in her hooves and looked around the room. She seemed nervous, but it only lasted a second or two. I could see the mask of her stage persona slip into place. She gave the crowd a confident smirk and took a deep breath. Ya better believe, I got tricks up my sleeve. And I captivate, 'cause I'm powerful and great. Ya better believe, I got tricks up my sleeve. See me dominate, 'cause I'm powerful and great. I will admit, I was not expecting her to sing that. I mean, that song was from the human world. Once more the multiverse is showing its own messed up sense of humor, I think. You think you've got what it takes to go toe to toe? I've got more moves than you'll ever know. I own the stage, I'm all the rage. You're from the past, I'm from the Star Age? Hey, so there was a slight difference in the lyrics after all. Fitting, seeing as ponies have not yet reached space age levels of technology. Come on, you're just making noise. Listen how my music destroys. Anything you throw at me, I'm gonna throw back, just wait and see. Trixie's performance was met with mixed results. Some ponies were enjoying it, others looked mildly annoyed by her boasty lyrics. I spotted a stallion in the crowd who seemed to take her words literally, seeing as he made ready to lob a tomato at her. A quick burst of my magic saw the offending vegetable explode in his face, showering him in tomato puree and knocking him over into another pony's drink. A small brawl broke out as a result, but it was quickly stopped by two burly bouncers. Trixie seemed oblivious to it all, singing her heart out on the stage. Her eyes were closed and she was swaying and gyrating to her own rhythm. Don't mean to brag, don't mean to boast. But I'm a 6-course meal and you're just burnt toast. Think I'm gonna ever give up? No, never, ever, ever, ever. Ya better believe. I got tricks up my sleeve. See me dominate. 'Cause I'm powerful and great. Is it just me or is there quite a bit of sneaky innuendo in that song? Maybe that's just the alcohol talking. With a final spin she came to a stop, breathing heavily. She opened her eyes and looked around the room. Things had gotten quiet. I could see her confident mask slipping as the silence dragged on. I started clapping. It was like an opening signal. Slowly, one by one they all joined in, giving Trixie a well-deserved applause. She actually blushed and hurried off the stage with as much dignity as she could muster. She quickly made her way back to our table and slipped into her seat. Well done, Trixie, I had no idea you could sing like that. Truly you are a mare of many talents. I greeted her. If anything, her blush deepened. Perhaps not Trixie's best performance, but your praise is welcome. While your choice of lyrics could use some work, I must admit you have a great voice, darling. Rarity said. The rest of the group offered their own agreements to that statement. Trixie accepted their praise with modesty. I will admit, you showed guts up there. Rainbow said. It was good to be on stage again, even if it was just to sing a song instead of perform a show. Trixie still got it. That you do. I said with a chuckle as the next pony hopped on stage to sing a song. So far I was greatly enjoying the evening. Good friends, good music, for the most part anyways. And I even found a drink I could enjoy without becoming completely piss-blind drunk after a single glass. We listened as the stallion on stage sang some kind of teary love song. I thought it was a tad too hammy, but the majority of the crowd seemed to like it. I politely joined in the applause as he finished. Who will be the next pony to perform for us tonight? Surely there's another brave mare or stallion willing to get up here. I was promptly yanked out of my seat and pushed towards the stage by way of magic. I looked back confused to see Trixie shoving me forward with her aura. He will, she yelled. Now wait a second. Sing, 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 sing. Pinky chanted, all smiles. You been hummin' and singin' those short weird tunes all week while workin' partner. Time to hear ya sing a real song. AJ added. Yes, do go on, darling. Rarity waved me off with a dainty hoof. Excellent, get on up here and woo us. Said a cappella. I was pushed through the crowd with enthusiasm and practically thrown onto the stage. I stood looking at the crowded room and my mind completely blanked out. Singing when it was just me and one or two friends was one thing, but to sing a song in front of a pub full to bursting with ponies? Inside I was having an attack of stage fright of Fluttershy level proportions. What do I sing? I can't sing in front of them all. All right, what's your name, govna? I'm Aaron. I responded on autopilot. Wait, ain't you the ever-free monster? She asked after getting a good close look at me. Yes. This is a rare treat, let's hear what sort of songs a monster likes to sing then, she said with a smile. Was she making fun of me? I looked her in the eyes but there was no malice in them, just honest curiosity. I looked over the crowd again. So many faces. Some staring with interest, yet others glaring with barely concealed mistrust. I can't do this. Then I looked over to the table where the girls sat. Twilight looked expectantly. Rarity's expression was mostly neutral. Rainbow pretended not to care in typical Dash fashion. AJ gave me a wink. Fluttershy peeked out from behind her mane with a tiny smile. And then there were Pinky and Trixie, both giving me wide, beaming smiles of encouragement. Tuning out everything but the seven of them, a feeling washed over me, like some invisible force guiding my actions. I lifted the microphone. This song is for the best friends a pony could have. May their light always shine true, I said as I touched the memory crystal and let it fill with the melody of the song. A minute or so later the opening notes began to blast from the speakers. A quick pause, a deep breath, here we go. Each one of you has something special, that makes you different, that makes you rare. You have a light that shines within you, that you were always meant to share. And when you come together, combine that light that shines within. There is nothing you can't do, there is no battle you can't win. When you come together, there'll be a star to guide the way, it's inside you every day. See it now. See it now? Let the rainbow remind you, that together you will always shine. Let a rainbow remind you, that forever this will be your time. To see the looks on their faces was wonderful. First skepticism, then surprise followed by delight. Soon enough all of them smiled. Seeing those smiles encouraged me more than anything, and I poured my heart and soul into the song. Each one of you will sometimes falter, you might stumble, you might fall. But with the magic of your friendship, you will triumph, over all. And when you come together, combine that light that shines within. There is nothing you can't do, there is no battle you can't win. When you come together, there'll be a star to guide the way, it's inside you every day. See it now. See it now? So let that rainbow remind you, that together you will always shine. Let the rainbow remind you, that forever this will be your time. I let my eyes wander over the crowd. To my surprise, gone were the distrustful glares. Instead I saw smiles and ponies bobbing their heads to the melody. Even though the song originally ended there, new words came to me as if through magic. And seeing that many smiling faces felt so good, I just let them flow. Each one of you will stand together, spreading friendship, every day. With the light and the joy that lies within you, you will always find your way. So when you come together, combine the light that shines within. There is nothing you can't do, there is no battle you can't win. When you come together, the starlight showing you the way, it's inside you every day. See it now. See it now? And let the rainbow remind you, that together you will always shine. Let the rainbow remind you, that forever this will be your time. Let the rainbow remind you, that together your light always shines. As the last note of the song faded away, the entire bar erupted in cheers and applause. If I could blush I'd be redder than Big Macintosh right now. I took a quick bow then hurried off the stage to rejoin the girls. Howie, AJ crowed, heavens to Betsy, that was really something. It was all right, said Dash, a little too sappy for my tastes. Oh hush Rainbow, that was really beautiful, Rarity said. Wait a second, was she wiping away tears? She wasn't the only one. I spotted Twilight and Trixie inconspicuously trying to wipe their own eyes. It really was. I had no idea you could sing like that, Fluttershy added. I didn't know either. It just sorta happened, as if something was guiding me. That's the magic of music, Pinkie said cheerfully. The what now? It's like this super special magic that only happens on very special occasions. Like when you throw some pony the best super special extravagant party ever, and every pony is filled with love, joy, and cheer. And they become so happy that they just can't help but feel like bursting into song. That's when the magic of music comes out to make the song extra super special, Pinkie explained at her usual rapid-fire pace. I blinked. Really? It's a rare phenomenon, but it has been documented before. The thaumaturgical name for it is harmonious soul aria, Twilight said. Leave it to Twilight to ruin a good moment with egghead stuff, Rainbow snarked. AJ smacked her on the back of the head in reply. While Twilight glared. I wisely decided to stay out of it, taking another sip of my drink. The magic of music, hey? Well, we have the magic of friendship, so why the heck not? It's like Granny Smith says, magic is as magic does, just funny that way. Where did you learn that song anyway? Trixie asked. I honestly don't remember. I lied, making extra sure to avoid Applejack's eyes. Someday I would tell them, but not today. They were not ready for that. By the way, Trixie, I've been meaning to ask you something. Yes. Before I left Canterlot I was given 2 tickets to the Grand Galloping Gala next month, after promising I would attend. I said as I produced said tickets from one of my inner pockets. I was wondering, would you be my +1 for the evening? That's when she fainted. Was it something I said?